Get your headbands on and ready. Tie them extra tight, because we have ninjas in the perfect ban list. Perfect ban list. The community has banded together to create the perfect Yu-Gi-Oh! Ban list, encompassing everything we love in Yu-Gi-Oh! Powerful cards, interactivity, and perfect balance. But of course, we won't get it perfect on the first try, and that's where you come in. Initially, the ban list is created by Twitch chat. After every episode, it's up to the top 3 most liked YouTube comments with one big change to help improve the ban list. This could be anything from unlimiting, limiting, forbidding cards, or even banning entire deck types. Now, let's embark onto the perfect ban list. Dark Magician versus ninjas in the perfect ban list. We are depending on not only Twitch chat, but also the YouTube comments to help formulate the perfect ban list. It's not about sending us back to the Stone Age. It's about, within current and modern Yu-Gi-Oh!, giving us the most perfect, most interactive, best viewing, best playing ban list we can make. And apparently with our current ban list, Dark Magician's a good deck, and also ninjas. That tells me that our ban list is a hell of a lot better than what we have in game. I think so. Rod, activate, search for the circle. Now, ideally, to make the ban list even better, we probably wouldn't be outright banning all the top decks like Snake Eyes. I think we would make them playable. So if you could be creative, maybe look at the decks that we have that are restricted and find ways to make them playable and healthy within the perfect ban list so that we could have even more deck diversity. Ideally, the top cut is all different decks, right? I think we could agree on that. Let's keep on continuing. So what do we have to worry about here? We have the Eternal Soul, which could summon the Dark Magician to then banish a card in the field. We then have the Sinful Spoils of Betrayal, Silvera to negate anything on the field. And then we have Ash negate a search or special summon from the deck. Triple Disruption, can we play through it? Imperm does nothing. It doesn't stop any of the disruptions because they're in the back row and in the hand. Kagaro is going to be summoning a monster from the hand or grave. We have the Green Ninja. We're going to special summon the Mitsu, then send them to the grave to then summon a Maizen. That will trigger the Green Ninja to activate to flip a card on the field face down. And if you activate anything, the Maizen will then chain to the activation to summon a monster from the deck. Oh boy. Green Ninja to flip down the Diablo Star Black Witch. We are going to be trying to negate the Maizen, which Maizen will chain to the negate, which the Ash will then negate the effect of summon from the deck. We already used up 2 of our disruptions so far. We're now down to just the Eternal Soul Summon Dark Magician to banish anything. That's going to be an issue. Diablo Star being triggered to then send a card to the grave to reborn back on the field. She is not disruption, but she is a follow-up. Follow-up, more Silvera, Silvera, wow. We got Saizo. Saizo, the biggest downside of Saizo is it's about to get banished. Okay. Also doesn't have a level, so it doesn't work with duplication. You would need another ninja with it to use the duplication onto it. And wow, Dark Magician looking good. Should Diablo Star even be legal within a perfect ban list? Should we reduce her power level by maybe limiting the Wanted Seeker to 1? You tell me. It's up to you to perfect the ban list. Special summoning Terratop. Uh-oh, we did not ban I Sold. So, but we're not even doing that. Interesting. This is Salamangreat. Going into a Mirage Stalio, we're now locked into fire monsters only. The effects or the summons. Yeah, you can only activate fire monsters for the rest of the turn. Now, with our Ambler Whale and Promethean Princess, we have the Omni Negate plus pop a card on special summon. The turn was quite long, but we only have 2 disruptions, so I think that's kind of healthy. Yeah, it's not 20, it's not a bunch of them. This is fine, this is playable. We can play right through this. There's a hand trap on top of it, so they do have the triple disruption. Sarah unaffected by traps. So if she activates, then you chain your counter trap to then try to negate her. She ain't negated. But Promethean Princess will pop her. She getting popping. Okay, that is interesting. We are parallel exceeding in response to the trigger effect of Promethean Princess. And the TCG, this would be Chainlink 1, and the Promethean Princess would be Chainlink 2. And then the parallel exceed would have nowhere to summon to. So interesting how this works differently in Master Duel. And Konami's like, that's why we semi-limited. It's too good. Parallel Exceed activates summon from the deck. Another one. Amble Whale's activating to summon the Sunlight Wolf back onto the field. Valor is negating not only the ability of being level 4, but now it can't summon another copy from the deck. Damn. And we did use up our normal summon, but the Garden allows an additional summon. Knowing that additional summon will happen, we are going to negate with the Salamander Great Roar. What do we have here? Whole T can summon itself onto the field, but that doesn't really do anything. We do have Imperm. I think this is the end for Trap Tricks. This is not really going to be doing much. Even having a Harpy Feather Duster on top of that, I guess the question would be, should Harpy Feather Duster be legal in a perfect ban list? I don't think the card's that toxic or toxic at all. It's just good to be in the game. Heat Leo is here, which would further spin back row cards off of the field. We now have Gazelle sending the Rage. Rage recycled would be the ability to pop multiple cards on the field. Another good form of disruption here. Sunlight Wolf being summoned over another will trigger the Omni Negate to set itself in the back row, but then it will get banished once it's used. We then use the Wolf to recycle the Rage. So we got Rage, we got Roar, we got Whole T banishing to summon a Pudica. Pudica will banish a monster temporarily. But we are going to be using our Promethean Princess to get further popping. So banish the Heat Leo, and the Promethean Princess essentially replaces the Heat Leo. We do not have game. So Trap Trick is still in this. I think this is quite healthy. The game not being so focused on one-turn killing and first-turn killing with amazing turn 1 fields. We have good back-and-forth plays, good interaction. Trap Tricks doesn't really stand a chance on the next turn, though, because of the Roar, Omni Negate, plus the Rage, pop multiple cards. Marmelio on Summon is going to be negated from, this would add a whole normal trap from your deck to your hand. Nope, ain't happening. And the rollback is gonna be able to copy nothing as it gets destroyed, but now it could copy a trap on our own grave since it was destroyed. At the cost of half of our life points, we could imperm a card in the field. That's exactly what we're doing. Copy the impermanence, negate the wolf, and then die. Pretty good round 1, I think so. Springin's Kit is not on special summon here. It is our normal summon play. We have Droll and Lockbird, which I think comes up into discussion of, should that card be legal? People don't like Maxi for the base reason of it ends people's turns. Is Droll and Lockbird ending people's turns? Of course, Maxi's better than Droll, but is it almost sometimes effectively doing the same thing? Well, I don't see their turn ending. They're still making plays, so maybe Droll is okay to keep in the perfect ban list. We're sending a Springin Brother from the deck to the grave, activating to reborn a card from the grave. Rocky's going to add from the grave back to the hand here. We're going to then rank up Xyz into a Sargass. Sargass into a Nibiru. Of course, Nibiru is going to exist within the perfect ban list. Nibiru into Scoop. Damn. You love to see it. Not even active. Scooping to a deck that we don't even know what they're playing. So what if they just didn't really do anything afterward? You don't know. This is best of 1. So we got that salty off of a Nibiru to just completely quit out. Wow. Foolish. Burial, sending from the deck to the grave. Right-hand Shark. We are then sharking it up with Kragan. Kragan's going to turn every monster onto the field into a water, and with anything on the field being a water, we have the effect to pop a water monster on the field. It's also non-target poppage. We also have a Chang Ying with a water Long Yun. So very cool. The Ice Jade ran. That's going to be summoning the token, going to the Chang Ying. If a card gets banished, we're then going to further banish another card on the field and in the grave, but it's only activatable if there is a card in the grave after a card has been banished. Infernity, this is something. What is going on here? Tour Guide on summon, summon from the deck, a Fiendish Rhino. Everything on the field is a water. We're gonna pop the Wildcat. Now we gotta focus on if something gets banished, because that's when the Chang Ying's gonna pop off. We're sending from the deck to the grave all these Inferni cards I've never even seen before. I did not know that they even existed. We now have Cherubini being summoned with 2 level 3 monsters. The Rhino being triggered to send from the deck to the grave a Harris. Harris add an Infernity Archfiend, which, why did this not trigger? You have to draw this card, not add it. Okay. We're going to Void Apocalypse, send the Infernity Archfiend from the deck to the grave, We're then, we have the Water Enchantress within the perfect ban list. That's kind of wild. We're then going to further link this all up into Underworld Goddess with the ability to, not only did we get rid of the Chang Ying, we're now going to be having the ability to negate any effect that would summon from the grave. Let's go, let's go. Inferni General is going to be reborning the Necromancer. Necromancer is going to be reborning the... Huh? Why didn't we reborn? Am I missing something? Archfiend? I think we're just further cooking. What the heck is going on? Add the Rite of Eresmir from the deck to our hand here. We now have Infernity Doom Archfiend. What does this card even do? You target a face-up card in the field, negates effects. Then if you have no cards in your hand, you can destroy it. Okay. Let's just get wiping. Now, off of the Kraken being destroyed, we summon a little Kraken spawn. This could destroy a water monster your opponent controls, but the monsters are no longer turned into water. Focus. Now we have Beautiful Princess, Be a Tuneful, summoning from the deck a Leafish, sending from the deck to the grave a Super Ancient Deep Sea King, as we then make an Anemone. Anemone is going to be targeting a water in the grave to summon it, and the Goddess will be negating that effect to special summon. Not happening. Goddess is also unaffected from everything. We swinging into the Doom Archfiend there. Not too sure why. Maybe we're just suiciding. I don't think we have anything else activatable in the grave. 1-for-1 not activatable unless we have a monster in the hand to discard. Setting up with the Adventure Engine. Grab our Griffin Rider. Discard the 1-for-1. Come forth and summon Omni Negate. And just like that, Infernity in a perfect ban list. Doing well. Right of Eresmir, I do think we need to discuss if this is okay to have in a perfect ban list format. To have Griffin Rider and the token, free Omni Negate for any deck mate. I don't know. That's something that I do expect to be a top comment on what we should ban, because they're about to set up a ridiculous turn one. One that I believe would not exist in a healthy, perfect ban listed format. Let's get to it. Negate a monster and take control. Negate anything. Negate a monster. We drew into an additional droplet, which will negate monsters on the field. And then in the graveyard, we don't have anything else really going on. Let's go. We played through 4 Disruption. Well, with Triple Tactics Talent, maybe we can. Grabbing a Diablo Star with our Wanted. Discard to come forth and summon. We're going to use up one of our negates here. Maybe we take control. Yes, we do. So it's interesting here if we were to discard a Poplar, which is, I believe we have it banned, or actually, I think you could play 1 Poplar. The Poplar would be Chainlink 2, protecting it from being negated by Utopic Draco Future. Just know that if you're going to play Snake Eyes yourself, or even play against it. You'd yoink it, then we would have to use the Fog Blade instead. Triple Tactics Talent, you're not going to even allow me to draw 2. I'm not trying to take control of your monster. You should just let me. We do have Super Poly. But is there a Super Poly play? Yes, there is. Discard. Thanks for taking my Diablo Star, as I can now fuse your Rusty into just a Mood Dragon. Not big enough to take out the token. Still lose badly. Okay, can we please do something about that deck, please? Do something. Ban Griffin or something. Wetlands. Level 2 is boosted by plus 1200. Now, it's just weird that we have a Snake Eye field spell that does so much more than also pretty much has this effect, but they were aware that Wetlands existed, so they made sure that the Snake Eye field spell only boosted by 1100, not that extra 100. Special summon the Terror Top, searching for our Take Tomborg. This is also a new addition to the perfect ban list format that we have. This did not exist beforehand. The Morella sent a Pacaya from the deck to the grave. Okay, so how the Paleozoic cards work is when a trap card is activated, you then special summon your Paleozoics onto the field as monsters that will be boosted by the Wetlands. And they will be 2400 attack each, and they're unaffected from monster effects. That's pretty cool, yes? What else do we have in the back row here? We have target a spell and trap card in the field, destroy it, get destroying, chain our Paleozoic, 2400, unaffected from monsters. What is the other trap we have in the back row? I'm not familiar with Switcheroo. If you control the same number of monsters as your opponent, switch control of the whole field? What? I think we're past even using that, though. We're not going to be able to use it, but if you were able to pull that off, that would be great. Huh. Give your opponent the Paleozoics. Does the Wetlands boost up the opponent? Yes, even the opponent's Paleozoics get boosted when you give them to them. So we are seeing a reoccurring theme here that Phantom Knight's a bit too good, but we could probably blame the Adventure Engine for that. The Adventure Engine is good going first. It's good going second. It has synergy with the Binny, sending the girl from the deck to the grave to even get access to it. So not only is it really broken in Phantom Knight, but probably even other decks should not be allowed to use it. Let's keep on going. I hope we see Prank Kids in today's event. Where are they? They're pretty much fully unlimited. I don't think we hit them on the ban list. I have to double check. We get drawn, and we have Rescue Ace without the new support. This will then have to go onto our perfect ban list because this deck will be way too good. Now, in response to a monster effect activating on the field, we could special summon a Rescue Ace from the deck, but because we're sending ourselves to the graveyard, we are susceptible to the fingering our impulse, thus we are now negated. Damn. This card just became unlimited in OCG, as it already is in Master Duel. We are small world bridging, building the bridge with the Sulpha Chord to gain access to our Diviner. Huh? Diviner send Trias, Trias tribute Diviner. I think we had to make Amble Whale first, then pop, then add, then summon, but we are locked into fire only. Uh-oh. So what did we accomplish? We do have a Promethean Princess in the grave to pop a card and special summon, and this better have a disruption, right? This states when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can special summon a Sulpha Chord with an odd pendulum scale from your pendulum zone to where this points to. If you do, negate the activation. Activate, odd, summon, negate. We got an Omni negate. Let's go. 2 disruption plus a finger. RP, oh, damn. Don't we lose our disruption now? Should we have summoned it? Isn't that how you do it? Huh. Well, we did not summon it because that would then trigger the Electromite, which then triggers the Astrograph. All right, draw a card and summon. This will also search, right? Oh, we're going for the randomly drawing in a Veiler. Ain't no freaking way. Harpy Feather Duster to counter the Kulia Omni negate disruption, but then Electromite triggering into Veiler to then negate the Lifter. Very well done. Diablo Star discarding to come forth and summon to grab from the deck. It will get popped, but it is not negated. We're going to chain a rescue. We're going to rescue our impulse from the grave to come forth and summon. And that was Heartbreaker's final disruption through that Promethean Princess. What are we doing with this? We have the original Sinful to grab us a Hydrant. Impulse is negated here, but we have the original Sinful send, summon, search for the Turbulence. Turbulence is going to set 4 cards from the deck. This is huge. This is big. This is why the deck is super top tier when it comes out with the more support. Set 1, not 2, but 3, probably 3, maybe 4. We got all 4. Yes, and one of these cards are activatable the turn they are set thanks to having a Hydrant. Extinguish in the name, you extinguish a monster on the field. Reinforce in the name, you reinforce one of your monsters, making it protected from destruction, I think battle also. Contain in the name, contain an opponent's monster, ensuring that it can't be used for the extra deck, and it is negated, and it cannot attack. Let's get to it. We are reinforcing right now the Turbulence to boost it up and make it indestructible. Anima, we played right into that. Get Suck and suck up your monster. Then further linking this up into a Hida. Hida steal another monster after sucking, grabbing the Ambler Whale. To battle we go. Big enough thanks to the reinforce, plus the contain and extinguish. That is incredible. Promethean Princess of our own, reborn a fire monster from the grave. The Hydrant will be giving them additional benefits, ensuring that whatever we extinguish, any monster with the same name cannot activate. So let's say you popped a Sangan. Sangan would not be activatable due to having Hydrant giving that additional effect. Foolish Burial off the top of the deck. I don't know if that's a combo starter for Sulfur Looks like it is not. Rescue Ace in its current form doing well. I think that is great. Sword Soul versus Dragon Maid. Sword Soul being allowed in the perfect ban list? Ain't no way. I thought the deck was super top tier. Evenly matched, we banishing at the end of the battle phase, but we are not going to even make that play as we're going to just go straight into Sword Souls instead. We have Mo Yi, Reveal the Vashuda, Baylor, Negate. We have not committed to our normal summon yet. Could follow up with Taya, link off with the Mo Yi, then banish it. We could also, oh wow, normal summon Ash to Yazi. Yazi is great. Can't be targeted by impermanence. Trigger the Mo Yi to draw a card. So you pop itself plus another card, summon Taya, and then you continue your plays. Or we go to battle. Sure. Then main phase 2 pop. Why are we not popping? Why no pop? Pop, 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 pop. No pop. Why we ain't popping? Interesting. We have Dragon Maid, Hospitality, special summon a Dragon Maid plus send a dragon from the deck to the grave. At the start of the battle phase, we're going to summon our big fat dragon from the grave onto the field. And then main phase 2, normal summon our Dragon Maid. We return back to our hand to then make a Hieratic Seal, which could spin a face-up card the opponent controls back into the hand, plus summon a dragon from the deck. Taya banished in the grave Mo Yi to summon our level 4 tuner token. Using the Tiding onto our Hieratic Seal to spin the token back to the hand, and then chain tribute it off the field to then spin the untargetable Yazi back into the extra deck to then activate to summon that dragon from the deck, which will activate at the start of the battle phase to summon a dragon from the grave. Also on summon, searching for the change over, we entered the battle phase, thus giving them the ability to summon that dragon. We open up our field because they summoned it into attack. We're then evenly matching, which is just going to banish one card. It's just one card. Just one. And I guess we could banish the Call by the Grave. Okay, activate Call by the Grave, then banish the Call by the Grave, and that worked out. Damn, very well done on that. Vashuda special summon, link off, then activate Vashuda to banish a card on the, I should say return it back to the hand, but first special summon, oh, banish add Haro, not special summon, to add a banish Mo Yi. We already used up our normal summon. Now we banish Vashuda to spin back the dragon to now back to Franco X. What do we have here? We have Dragon Maid Chamber grabbing our Hospitality to reborn from the grave, but use the changeover first to use the Earnest and Chamber to make a Shiyu. Shiyu is an Omni Negate. So we're going to pop that Fool, which we will then negate. And by negating the Blackout Poppage, we're going to summon from the deck the Dragon Maid. House Dragon Maid is here. I'm not familiar with this. Tribute a monster, special summon this card from your hand. Huh? Sword Soul Chun Jun? That's weird. On summon of the Nurse, reborn a Dragon Maid from the graveyard, then make a Twin Triangle Dragon. Huh? When this card is link summoned, you can pay 500, target a level 5 or higher in the graveyard, special summon it to your field. Wow. As we then further link this up into a Unicorn on summon, which could discard a card to spin a card in the field back in the deck, we're not going to even bother doing so. At the start of the battle phase, we're going to Chamber, return back to the hand to summon a bigger dragon. And when a dragon is returned back to the hand, we can target a monster the opponent controls to then destroy it, to then attack for game. Dragon Maid. Let's go. Dinos in the top 4 versus Marincess. As the Pascalis turns into a Sea Angel searching for the Marincess dive, which could dive into the grave, reborning our Pascalis. As we then further link this up into an Anemone, which could reborn again from the graveyard, further linking this up into a Blue Slug. Blue Slug could send a Marincess from the deck to the grave, right? No, it adds from the grave back to the hand. That's another monster I was thinking of. As we then make the Marbled Rock. Marbled Rock with the Anemone. Anemone, recycle a card in the graveyard back to the hand, grab back that dive to be used next turn. We're going to use the Marbled Rock to return a card in the graveyard back on the deck, and they did nothing. Yeah, this is nothing. We did get top 4, but we did not open up a good hand. So what the hell is this? All right, we're gonna fossil dig into our deck to play right into that Droll and lock Bird. But we have Call by the Grave. But we have another Droll. So if we chain the Droll to the finger, and then the finger Droll happens after it has resolved, you still can't add. It is, even though it's negated, you still can't further add from the deck to the hand. That's how that works. Now, imagine that Droll was worded in the same way as Maxi, or I should say Maxi is worded in the same way as Droll. You Maxi, they called by, they then chain another Maxi. That'd be disgusting. Let's go, let's go. I did end their turn though, so again, we want to talk about, is Droll a good card to have in the perfect banlist event? You have Sea Angel digging for the field spell. When used with the Marinta's Dive, we would be able to summon a monster from the deck, and that's why Ash wants to negate. Thus, we then use Crossout Designate to negate the negate. Very well done. Marinta's Battle Ocean is here, as we said, giving the additional benefit onto the Marinta's Dive. From the deck, we summon the Blue Tang. This is what sends from the deck to the grave, which then adds back through the Blue Slug, as we're making the Blue Slug right now. Blue Slug grabbing the Seahorse, the Blue Tang triggering to then excavate the top 3 cards of the deck, add an excavated Marincess card among those 3. The Seahorse could summon to where a Link monster is pointing to, which is nothing so far, so we have to Link Shokan. We're going to Marbled Rock, add back the Dive to be used next turn, as we then make the Anemone, as we now could special summon our horse, and then use the Anemone to reborn from the graveyard. Wait, how does Seahorse get summoned? I thought it had to be to where the Link monster's pointing to. The Seahorse was summoned to... Okay, it was pointing to somewhere. Okay. Right? Did I get... no, that was the activation of Pascalis. So we summoned Pascalis to where the Anemone was pointing to, where it has to be summoned to where it's pointing to. So we didn't use Seahorse's effect, we used Pascalis' effect. But now we got Great Bubble Beef for game. Damn. And I was thinking, wow, Marinta sucks. They didn't do a good turn 1, but the Droll and Lockbird chained to the Call by the Grave, keeping them in the game. Very well done. That was crazy. We have Makanko going first with Libromancer setting up the field spell with the origin story. Field spell searching for a Libromancer, plus giving us the ability to ritual summon with the field spell, and more than once per turn, I might add. The Libromancer Fire on summon after revealing a ritual, searching for a Libromancer monster. Reveal another ritual to then summon our Geek Boy to search for the Libromancer realized, which will reveal to then summon a token equal to the level of the monster revealed. Thus, you use the field spell to ritual with that same level token to then summon our Doom Broker. Doom Broker can set up a Libromancer trap that I believe is an Omni Negate. We're going to use the Ohime to search for the Ceremony, and then we're going to equip the water onto the fire to then return the fire to summon a Makanko Fire monster, which will then trigger to grab a Fire Dance, as we then normal summon our Libromancer Fire to make a regular IP Masquerena, not the alt art one, as we further link this up into a Promethean Princess and then summon a Fire monster from the grave. Let's get to it. Fire's back here, now going into the Amblo Whale. We have not even activated the Ohime yet. Great Ceremony, come forth and summon Ohime. Now, Ceremony is going to send from the deck to the grave a Makanko card, which will be the Hugh Lee. We're then using the Doom Broker to set up the intervention, which states that when your opponent activates a card or effect, target a Libromancer ritual, return to the hand, and then negate the activated effect. Then special summon a Libromancer from your hand or grave. Very nice. And then through the rivalry, we can be able to negate a spell or take control of a monster or negate a monster. Our Makanko cards cannot be targeted, plus that Omni Negate and the Promethean Princess Mate. I thought Makanko was a turn 2 deck. What's going on here? Terratop without using up our normal summon. This is a really good play to make initially to try to break this field first, force out some negates. Promethean Princess going to pop to the Benny. Now, if we had a back row card to set before committing into making the play of Benny, we could have then used the other card to protect ourselves from being destroyed by Promethean Princess. So before making the Benny, should we have made additional plays here? Possibly, maybe. Or we're going to just keep on going with this, randomly discarding the scales, summoning the Jackalope, plus draw a card. We now have Forbidden Droplet, which the intervention is going to negate the Droplet. We can't respond to it with monsters, but by returning the Doom Broker, reborning the Fire, we then negate. The negate plus trigger the Libromancer Fire Mate to grab a Fire Burst to be used next turn. Water Enchantress activates, searching for the Rite of Erismir. Activate, summon a token here, but Rivalry is going to negate the spell by equipping onto the equipped Hugh Lee an Angelic Ring. Negate! Damn. Do we still have more plays here? We have Ohime, which could grab an equip card from the graveyard, which is actual not disruption. I think we are out of disruption. We have nothing left, but our Makanko cards are completely untargetable. Let's see what Phantom Knight can do. Reborn from the grave, further exceeding this up into the Levy Air. Levy Air, detach, summon a banished monster here, and then further Shokan into a Break Sword. Break Sword could detach to pop itself plus another card on the field, activating to summon 2 Phantom Knights from the grave as level 4s, as we then exceed them up into a Raider's Knight, which then from Raider's Knight, we further exceed this up into a card that may turn this into a 1-turn kill. We have Arc Rebellion Exceeds Dragon, absorb the attack of the entire field into 1 monster. This is it. Boost! We are chaining the Makanko Water to be equipped onto a monster in response to the Arc Rebellion, absorbing the attack of everything, not attacking for game. I cannot believe we did not have enough attack for game. That is crazy. This should always be just game. Wow. We needed another body on the field, 600 off from game. If we just had 600 more damage. Where did this go wrong? We didn't have a Phantom Knight trap in the grave to then banish to reborn a monster from the grave to then further boost up by just 600 more damage. Rivalry, because an equip card was sent to the grave, we're going to activate to add an equip card in the graveyard back to our hand, and all we need to do is suicide in our Makanko into the 10,000 attack, reflecting 10,000 attack into Lemon's face. Ain't no freaking way. Damn. Grand finale of the perfect ban list. We have Makanko versus Marincest. This is best of 3. Begin. Marincest is a fun deck to be seeing within the grand finale here. We have Sea Angel on summon, searching our deck for the Marincest dive. We have Spring Girl, which is going to be sending cards off the top of the deck equal to Marincest monsters you control. Very nice. And with the dive, we want to use it with the field spell. With the field spell, the dive has the additional ability of summoning whatever we want from the deck. Blue Tang is being summoned to send a seahorse from the deck to the grave, as we then make Anemone. Anemone is going to be reborning from the grave, but first Blue Tang will be looking at the top 3 cards of our deck here. Let's get Excavating, and hopefully we get a Marincest card to add to our hand. We got Pascalis. Pascalis come to me. We have used up our normal summon already. Now Anemone, reborning the Blue Tang, linking into the Blue Slug to grab back our dumped from the deck Seahorse, and we want the Seahorse to be special summon from the hand right behind the Coral Triangle. And we have the Anemone off of the milled Marincest Wave to add it back to the hand. This is activatable from the hand to negate a monster and make our monster unaffected from everything. So from all effects, right? Oh my gosh, we have 2. So this states that control Marincest, target a monster, negates, and then link to or higher, unaffected from all card effects. That is disgustingly good. Special summon to where the link arrow is pointing to. Now making Argonaut. Yes, equip on to Argonaut. Now Argonaut has the special ability of, while in the extra monster zone, your opponent cannot attack any monster except Argonaut herself. But her more important ability is she could, when a spell or trap card is activated during the opponent's turn, you could special summon a Marincest to negate. And then the Marincest Wave is a hard once per turn, but we have spell and trap card negate, monster negate, unaffected from everything off of the Marincest negate, plus impermanence and Veiler, Quadra Disruption. Can we play through it? Makanko Water equipped onto the Argonaut. Now, does Argonaut negate the activation or the effect? This states to negate the activated effect. So that was not good. You want to negate the activation of the effect, not the card from the hand. So that did not work out. So as you can see there, it is negated, but it's still on the field. So we could now activate it to spin her back on the deck. We actually, wait, that's not water, that's the Rondo. So there was actually nothing she could even do to this besides using the Marincess Wave to negate a monster and be unaffected. So it looks like the water card. So by just controlling a Makonko, this then goes into effect of while you control a Makonko monster, you take control of the monster this is equipped onto. So very good job on that. We could still use the Marincess Wave, right? If you control a Marincess Link, this is activatable. If you control a Link 3 or higher, which we no longer do. All right. Wrong card. I mean, my eyes are not so good. This looks like Makonko water. It's the same thing, yes? Looks just like it. Tell me these cards don't look the same. Water, water. Rivalry being triggered to add the water in the graveyard back to the hand. And now we got the real water onto the Ha-Ray. Baylor is going to negate the search of the equip card here. Water you are. Wait, what? They are different rarities? Well, you can't see the rarity unless you click on it for the effect. I'm going off of what they look like on fields. You can't tell that's you are. Now, we have our Makonko cards completely untargetable here. Pascalis has the effect of grabbing the Marincess Dive in the graveyard back to our hand, which we could use to summon a monster from the deck. Blue Tang on summon activates. Send from the deck to the grave a Mandarin. And then we are now blue slugging. Blue Slug is on summon, gonna add the Spring Girl in the graveyard back to the hand, which could summon by banishing a monster from the grave as the Blue Tang then excavates the top 3. No good, no bueno, bad. Spring Girl is gonna be our normal summon. I thought we special summoned the Spring Girl. Banish Marincess to special summon this card from the hand. Now, we are reborning our Coral Triangle to then make a Z-Lantis. Now, you think you know how this works, but you don't really, unless you know about Marincess. One of these effects are locking you into water monsters. It's this one. It states that you summon it and you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except water. So you are the one that's going to summon their monsters back on their field after banishing it, but you can't summon anything but water. So if they're not water, you banish them, you don't resummon them, and you take back your Argonaut and then I believe attack for game. Do we have enough damage? Spring Guild on the top. Banish the field, we're locked in the water. Summon, summon, summon. This was the OG way to use Atlantis. And just like that, we do not summon your monsters back. We're at 7,200 damage. Not enough for game yet. And now with the Sea Angel over 8,000 for game. Very well done. Finish him. And I think I have the in-game volume way too loud. I'm so sorry about that. Lethal damage. Are you ready? Game number 2. We are going second, but against Nibiru, Ash, Baylor, Hajime. Huh? Really? We have no Nadir Servant play? We can't cook off of a Nadir Servant? Real. Okay. All right. Blue Tang. Wait. Oh, shoot. This was your only searchable monster. I get it. You have to search. It's not option. It's not send and you can search. It is the only searchable card. We drew it, so we did brick because of that. It's not that we chose not to activate it. We couldn't. I mean, I don't have access to his deck list, so I'm just assuming that's the case here. That's the only thing that really makes sense. And it's a 60-card deck. So the chances of opening up Nadir plus Maximus, if you play, let's say, 3 copies of Nadir, probably less than 1% of this happening. I think so. Imperm being saved to the Sea Angel, which we would have grabbed a dive for to use the field spell to summon a monster from the deck. Yeah, 60 cards. That should not have happened. Anemone. Get reborning from the graveyard as we sign at mining, discard Pascalis, grabbing our Spring Girl to banish from the grave to come forth and summon. When are my leaks coming to Master Duel? They are April pack. So 2 weeks. I generally only leak for the actual next pack. Battle Ocean is now here as we summon our Bubble Reef. Bubble Reef, trigger the field spell, equip onto the Bubble Reef, but boost up the Bubble Reef, Anemone, add back the Blue Tang in the grave, back to the hand. So I'll have a bunch of our hand traps here. Bob boosted up to 4,600. And then during the standby phase, we're going to be drawing into more hand traps maybe. Got Vale, Ash, Nibiru into a 4th hand trap coming right here, right now. No. Get a little bit boost there, 5,200. Water onto our Geek Boy. Ash is going to negate the water from returning back the Geek Boy, which we probably really wanted in our hand. So, more Saki, I'm so sorry that you bricked in the grand finale. What the hell? And that was it. The perfect ban list. Let me know in the comments below what changes we should make. All the top comments suggesting on what we should limit, unlimit, restrict, unban, whatever you want to do. Thank you very much. We are out.